Rick Wilson.
Hey, Molly.
So Donald Trump was told to campaign on affordability. So he is going to campaign on unaffordability. I'm
hmm
going to play a clip for you. We're building an arc to triumph. It will
Yes.
be like the one in Paris, but it will blow it away.
Yeah. Look, I think that the two things America's struggling working class and middle class voters are crying out for right now are a golden ballroom decorated in the style of Liberace slash Saddam and a triumphal arc in D.C. Other than that, food prices, gas prices, rent, insurance, health insurance, none of those things really matter. It's the arc that's going to really make the sale.
What do you think's going on here?
I think he is unable to focus on anything beyond the stuff that he likes, the day to day, minute to minute stuff that he likes. Honestly, Molly, I know we're all amateur neurologists and amateur gerontologists lately, but this is the old man who wants to sit there and have his pudding at lunch and talk about the good old days. And that's what he's doing now. All this stuff it's like this weird twisted version of a legacy. None of these things are going to get built.
Right.
We're not building an arc. We're not building a ballroom. It's not going to happen. But he's going to try to make those things the center. And I think in some ways he's also trying to go back to the old days. Like he's thinking about when did his brand really take off? And he's thinking to himself, I'm going to be the Trump brand of the 80s or the 90s. It's gold, it's luxury, it's classy. None of it is any of those things, but he is going to try to play that idea. I feel like the decline and fall of Trump is now increasing in both frequency and amplitude about the degree to which all this stuff is crazy.
Hmm.
And it's so disconnected from where people are. I mean, we are getting screaming alarm bells about the economy on every single front right now. We are getting not real improvement on inflation. We're getting no real improvement on jobs. All this stuff is really the exact opposite of showing some contrition and saying, you know what? I'm going to be right about tariffs in the end. I know it's hurting you right now. So we're going to try to find ways to help. He won't say that. He can't say that. The only reason he's done the ag thing is because he's afraid of getting blown out even further in the midterms. So I think we're in a situation where he doesn't care about anything else. We're seeing him talk about the things he cares about, and that's very narrow.
The only thing they have is history. I always say the one thing you can't compete with, but eventually we will have history too.
Yeah,
Discuss.
I would like to inform the president, depending on which of the French republics you want to start counting from, they have been around a little longer than we have, but not by much as a republic. He thinks of history as tourism, not as the passage of time and the recorded nature of it. This is a pathetic display more than anything. People should not be losing their minds like, oh, it's a sign of fascism. Yeah, sure it is. That's just coincidental. This is a sign of a pathetic old man who needs something. He's trying to find something he can call a victory, something he can call a win, something. He has failed economically. He has sold America out around the world. He has embarrassed us on the global stage. He has handed China the competitive economic advantage it always craved and could never quite get to before Trump. And so he's desperate to do something to leave a mark, to leave a legacy. That thing will not have ground broken on it and be finished before he dies. And he wants something to stain Washington forever.
Well, he will have the ballroom.
He's going to have the ballroom. I don't think he's
Um,
going to get it done.
I
Construction takes
want,
time.
he did fire the guy he brought in to do the architecture because the
Right.
guy said he didn't want an East Wing to be bigger than the actual White House.
Correct. Look, architects, even ones who are willing to work for a vulgarian like Donald, at some point follow a set of generally, specifically more traditionalist architects, follow a set of guidelines about proportions and grace
Mm.
and style. And they don't wake up in the morning and say, you know, what I'm really after is the largest, most vulgar display of Trumparian tastes possible. And this guy said, you know, it wouldn't fit the scene, the design, the rest of the compound by building a giant super ballroom from hell. So Trump got mad. He's pissed off about it, and he fires the guy. Or they didn't fire him. They layered him. They're like, we're bringing in another architectural firm. Okay.
I wonder if we could just talk for a minute about where Donald Trump finds himself in at this moment, because I think we're coming into Christmas. The polling is people are upset about inflation. Things are more expensive. We're in this trade war with
Yep.
China. Trump is selling NVIDIA chips to China. Probably because he's trying to win the trade war he started.
Selling those. So there was always a theory with China that you give them just a bit of access to these sort of technologies, right? You don't cut them off. The theory used to be you don't cut them off completely, or they'll develop them organically at home.
Right.
But the theory now is we're going to give them the most advanced AI chips. Now, look, China's exports have, in the last 15 years, have increased by about 45%. Their imports have increased by about 1%, and they're not coming from us. China has set out to be completely independent of America when it comes to developing the high-end technologies that we still are a leader on. The problem here for us is they're going to get those H200s and they're going to reverse engineer them. And this is the greatest short-term pennies on the dollar foolishness I think I've ever seen in my life.
Well, Trump is in an impossible situation, though, right? Because he's losing the trade war and he desperately needs China to negotiate with him.
What Trump ended up doing was negotiating with NVIDIA instead of with China.
Right.
So he's getting a 25% cut of sales from NVIDIA, but not putting the Chinese in any position where they're like, well, that Trump showed us, we better open the rest of our markets or we won't get any more NVIDIA chips. Jensen Huang shows up wearing a leather jacket and saying, you're the greatest, Mr. President, and ends up we hand NVIDIA another very large client, and we hand China an absolute triumph in the economic market that they want to dominate, which is AI.
Do you think that Trump is just such a bad negotiator and that's how we got to this moment?
No, I think he's surrounded by corrupt assholes who are getting paid off by Russia, China, and God knows who else we're negotiating. And that to me is like the Occam's razor of this thing. Is like, is it Trump making bad deals, or are the people around Trump, like Jared, getting basically a very sweet set of payoffs? No. Jared and Witkoff's kids becoming the people who are going to, quote, redevelop Ukraine. What a strange and remarkable coincidence that is.
Do you think that Trump has sort of backed himself into a corner, though, with the economy? Because, like, clearly we all see what's going and where this is going, and it's nowhere bad.
It's going bad. It's going south and sideways, as they say, in a big hurry. And Trump doesn't have a selling proposition, Molly, at this moment, where he gets to walk out of this problem. He has really screwed himself by declaring the trade war is going to pay Americans a tariff dividend. Where would that be, Donald? When's that going to happen? It's going to pay us a Doge dividend. None of it's going to happen. Right. This whole thing has gotten so kafukada because he can't deliver what he promised in terms of a golden age in America, because the fundamental center of everything he's doing economically is screwing his own voters.
Right. And that's what we see with the farming.
You can pay the farmers a $12 billion, give them a $12 billion bailout, but they would much rather have sold their soybeans.
Right.
Rather have stayed in business.
Yeah. We got Trump. He has this trade war. He's trying to negotiate. Things are more expensive. He thinks the release valve is lowering interest rates, but it really isn't.
No, it isn't. And one of the things we know right now is we're on a clock. The economy's on a clock because 40% of the S&P now is AI companies.
Right.
Oracle, the guy, Larry Ellison, who is the guy behind buying all this media for the right wing.
Right.
Larry Ellison made a deal with OpenAI for $60 billion. They have to start paying that deal back in 2027, beginning of 2027. Now, OpenAI's entire revenue is $17 billion. They're buying it on credit default swaps. Mm-hmm. So if anybody remembers what credit default swaps were, go back and watch The Big Short. Now, these things are collateralized by Sam Altman doing the woo-woo dance at TED Talk, you know?
Right.
The bullshit tornado is about to die. We're about to, the AI bubble, and look, it doesn't mean that AI can't still do tremendous good and tremendous harm, but that bubble economically is getting really shaky. Trump will have no way to manage his way out of that bubble. There's no chance he can get out of that without America being as close to a depression as we've ever been since the Depression.
But Fox has said
it's a great economy. You just don't appreciate it, Molly.
Well, that is one of the things it said, but it's also said that Americans should go without Christmas trees So that those Christmas tree farms can be used as
for
data
data centers.
farms.
For data centers.
Discuss.
I'm pro Christmas tree and I vote. This is one more of their bizarre Foxian kind of affectations about, we're going to find some way to spin that Donald Trump isn't a complete economic disaster in every dimension. But I think this is kind of unspinnable. I think you can't make this one work.
But just curious for a second, I've heard Scott Jennings also talk about how great data centers are and how it's going to win the war with China. But just explain to me why we need data centers
Well,
everywhere,
what we're
all the
doing with the
time.
data centers is we're providing essentially energy subsidies and zoning permissions to tech companies so they can build data centers so that the American taxpayer is paying in part for the facilities they use to train their AIs.
Why?
Because we live in a kleptocracy now and everything is crooked. How about that?
Why should I pay for Elon Musk's power and electricity?
You should not. And the other question is, why should you pay for a loan guarantee for OpenAI,
Right.
which Donald Trump is considering doing a loan guarantee for OpenAI for $1.7 trillion? And I'm curious, I got a lot of questions about whether there was no private market facility that wanted to give him $1.7 trillion. Weird. Why would that?
He's gonna crash the economy, right?
Oh yeah, Sam Altman's going to crash the economy.
Sam Altman gonna crash the economy, or is Donald Trump gonna crash the economy?
Well, Donald
or
Trump's going
both?
to crash it, but Sam's going to he's going to collateralize everything humanly possible for the benefit of OpenAI before he does.
I'm excited to work on a potato farm.
Right,
I feel like
it is exciting.
I will not be a good potato farmer.
No, Molly, I love you dearly, but I do not believe you are meant for agricultural labor.
So let's just go for a minute. You know who's having a worse time than Donald Trump?
Who's that?
Mike Johnson.
Oh, poor Mike Johnson.
And he has just a few more weeks with Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress. She has promised that she's going to just end his career. So what's going on there?
I think Marge has decided she's going to kamikaze what's left of Mike Johnson's sanity.
Yeah.
I would do it to fuck with Johnson. And here's what I would do if I were Marge. I would caucus with the Democrats for one day.
Yeah.
Call for a vote for speaker. Elect Hakeem Jeffries.
She's probably not going to do that.
But she could. I would not put a lot past her at this point.
One of the things that I think is interesting about Marjorie Taylor Greene doing this is that it mirrors what we saw Matt Gaetz do. Like Matt Gaetz was on his way out and he was like, fuck you, Kevin McCarthy. You're going to lose your job.
The departing kamikaze attack is now becoming, I think, a sort of Republican brand standard. And I kind of love it, honestly. I kind of love it. It does not bother me that the way that they're encountering this terrible set of outcomes.
Do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene does something huge, like reads the names on the floor?
Could be. Hey, listen, I don't think you should think that she has an upper boundary right now.
Right.
She really clearly has decided she gonna burn it all down.
I have a lot of respect for that.
You know what? Again, as we've talked about before, I'm not inviting Marjorie over for cocktails or anything.
Right.
But when the enemy of my enemy is doing the shit that she's doing, I'll allow it.
So we're going to probably see more Epstein stuff.
4 days from the time people hear this is when the Epstein files are due. I would like to make you a side bet. I don't think we're going to see shit.
Well,
I think the House is going to go, or the DOJ is going to go, oh no, we must protect the victims. It's too shocking.
The DOJ is definitely going to give you a hard time, but oversight has a bunch of information.
But let's keep in mind, everybody, what oversight has is different from what the DOJ has.
Yeah.
And the DOJ pretending they don't know any about that all this oversight stuff is brand new and they have to vet it for 2 or 3 years before they'll release it is going to be their next play. You watch.
Yeah. But oversight has tons and tons of photos and videos, and they are not sure how they can release them while protecting the victims.
There's a lot of CSAM material in there that they are trying to consider how they either redact it or summarize it so that it doesn't have to be out there. But a lot of the victims who are in this material are saying, I still want it out there. I want to know the truth. I want the truth. I want people to understand what happened to me.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
It's pretty dark. It's dark.
It's not a great situation for anyone to be in.
No, nobody, Nobody likes this outcome. No, nobody likes where it's at. It's bad.
Rick Wilson, thank you.